Support comes from ServiceNow. We're for people doing the creative work they actually want to do. That's why this ad was written and read by a real person and not AI. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business, IT, HR, and more, so your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Visit servicenow.com.
Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump.
They went after a guy named Roger Stone, who's sitting in the office. And I'll say this in front of Roger, he's no baby. And right now, he's cleaner than anybody in this place. No, they treated him very unfairly.
All of these presidents relied on one man to secure their seat in the Oval Office. That man is Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
This is the Roger Stone Show, presented by Colonial Metals Group. Now, here's Roger Stone.
Welcome back, folks. This is the Roger Stone Show. Now we are joined by Bill Pulte. Bill Pulte is an entrepreneur. He's a former director of Pulte Homes and a CEO today of Pulte Capital Partners, a private equity firm. It has been reported in the press that Bill Pulte is one of those under consideration to be the U.S. Secretary of Housing. He has comes from a family with a proud tradition of home building, but he's also a philanthropist who you might know him from X, now known as Twitter, where he gives away thousands of dollars to people who really, really need it. He only has a little bit of time because he's up at Mar-a-Lago for some meetings, but we're joined now by Bill Pulte, calling in from the president's palatial home there in Palm Beach.
Roger, good to talk to you.
Bill, I know you're pressed for time, and I appreciate your joining us. You're an idea guy. You think outside the box. You've thought a lot about a problem that Robert F. Kennedy identified in his presidential campaign and still talks about today, and that is the lack of affordable housing in America. Whether you want to buy a home, whether you want to rent someplace to live, there is no housing available, and when there is, you can't afford it. Donald Trump is
That's
a
right.
builder. You're a builder. How can the president solve this problem?
We got to get supply up. We got to get supply. The only way to fix this is you can't increase demand more. You have to increase supply. And you're going to continue to see prices go up and up and up if you don't fix the supply problem. So one of the things I think President Trump will do as a builder is build, build, build. He won't just drill, drill, drill. He'll build, build, build. And I think he's going to get it done. And I think you're going to see home prices come down and people will be able to finally afford the American dream again. The American dream in terms of buying homes has been put on hold, Roger, because these prices are way too high. People can't afford them. They need to come down, and I believe they will in the next 4 years.
The president has talked about Trump cities. I think this is really an interesting idea. Tell us, if you can, how you see this and what's the president getting at?
Well, the president talks about this plan that he wants to have 10 new cities, and he wants to use some of the federal land. You know, there's millions and millions of acres of vacant land and usable land, frankly, beautiful land that the federal government owns that's just not being used right now. And this represents a huge opportunity. Obviously, you have to find land that has infrastructure, or at least economically you can afford to put infrastructure in. But this country is blessed with some great real estate. And, you know, we basically need to really get going. Because if we keep waiting any longer with what's been done in the last 4 years, we're going to be in trouble. And so I'm very optimistic that whether it's the Trump cities or just housing supply in general, we will get this solved.
All right. I appreciate your calling in. I know that you're involved in meetings there, and I appreciate you giving us your valuable time. Where can folks follow you on social media?
At Pulte on Twitter, at Pulte. Thanks for having me, Roger. Always good talking to you.
I already love same-day delivery with Shipt, but it's so much better since I signed up for Target's Circle 360. Why? Because I no longer pay price markups from the majority of stores through Shipt. Only a handful of alcohol retailers and items don't count. That means no markups on groceries, pet food, even home goods and makeup. So to recap, I have more time to catch up on life while someone shops for me, and I spend less. It's a win-win. Order now at shipped.com/360. Terms apply.
5 immersive worlds, 1 amazing theme park. Get ready to explore the all-new Universal Epic Universe, featuring the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Dark Universe. Epic Universe, now open at Universal Orlando Resort. Our universe will never be the same. Tickets and packages on sale now at universalorlando.com.
Hey besties, listen up. I have a secret to tell you. LinkedIn now has improved the job search experience for nurses. Search by your specialty, the shifts you want to work, and the salary that you want to make. With so many employers hiring on LinkedIn, finding the perfect job is even more simplified. So don't spend months searching. Go to linkedin.com/nurses and find out why in the past year, more than 1.5 million nurses have used LinkedIn to search for their next role. That's linkedin.com/nurses.
Lights, camera, innovation. Walt Disney Studios chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to transform the movie-making process. Together, we kept a remote production hub in Hawaii in sync with a team in California to bring Lilo and Stitch to theaters this summer. This is picture-perfect collaboration. This is Walt Disney Studios with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
All right, God bless you. That was Bill Pulte, a dynamo, one of the most inspiring young entrepreneurs I've ever met, supporter of President Donald Trump. I think he would make an excellent Secretary of Housing. The department is actually called the Department of Housing and Urban Development, but I think we should change the name and focus on the gigantic problem of affordable housing. The other thing I must say that I'm really delighted about is the decision by President Donald Trump to appoint Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the Secretary of Human Services. This Health and Human Services, pardon me. This is absolutely vital. This new political coalition, this new ruling coalition, this has only happened twice before in our history. In 1932, because prior to 1932, most African Americans voted Republican because of the role of the Republican Party in emancipating the slaves. But in 1932, because of Herbert Hoover's anemic response to the Great Depression, well, black voters became Democrats, and they remained Democrats largely until our most recent election, when Donald Trump made historic inroads into this traditionally Democrat constituency. We saw the same thing among Hispanic Americans, among younger Americans. We've seen a great realignment going on. An important part of this realignment is Robert Kennedy's personal mission to restore America to good health. One of the things that impresses me the most about RFK, and I've watched him very carefully, not on the networks because they won't interview him. Not on the big cable outlets. They'll interview him, but then they edit and censor his interviews. But on the thousands of freewheeling podcasts that he's done, I have never seen Robert Kennedy ever question about any assertion he made without him being able to cite multiple studies or sources on which he bases his opinion. This is driving Big Pharma crazy. I have no doubt that they will do everything humanly possible to try to prevent his confirmation, but RFK is a fighter just like Donald Trump, and this partnership is incredibly vital to this country. Look, they can have Dick Cheney. They can have his perjuring daughter, Liz Cheney. In the January 6th committee hearings, she perjured herself about me and General Flynn. She claimed that White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows was instructed by President Trump to call General Flynn and I on January 5th to find out what was going to happen on January 6th. That is categorically false. It is a lie. Phone records would prove otherwise if it were true, but I have said and would continue to say there never was any such phone call. We now know that Liz Cheney also was coaching witnesses before the committee behind the backs of their lawyers. I saw Speaker Johnson at Mar-a-Lago just last night. He has a very tough job, folks, because he's got a majority caucus, but half those people are go along to get along rhinos, we call them, Republicans in name only. They just want to get reelected. They don't want to rock the boat. And then he has firebrands like Tim Burchett and Matt Gaetz and Anna Paulina Luna and so many others who went there not to be someone, but to do something, which is to say, to make America great again. And that's why I'm so excited about this realignment, where common sense Democrats like RFK, like Tulsi Gabbard, like Governor Rod Blagojevich, all of whom have endorsed and campaigned hard for President Donald Trump, are forming a new consensus in America. The division, folks, in America is not between Republicans and Democrats. It is between a ruling elite who no one elected, globalist bureaucrats who want to tell you how to live and who want to censor your free speech and want to move this nation towards World War III. And then all good people, Republicans, Democrats, independents, free thinkers, libertarians, those who believe in common sense. So RFK being appointed to this cabinet to tackle the problem of child obesity, to tackle the problem of child chronic disease, to question what those who are selling us food are putting into our food that is literally poisoning us. This is a great and courageous appointment by President Donald Trump, and we're going to forge a new golden age in this country, a golden age of peace, prosperity, security, and justice. I'm Roger Stone, and thank you for joining us on The Roger Stone Show.
Crazy about a shark, yes, man.